Tough one last night for the Red Wings. 4-3 final. A loss against the Florida Panthers. The second loss to the Panthers in, 4 days, 5 days? And most of this game was good. This game was, great until the last 2 minutes. So, starting this one. Midway through the first period, Florida did get a early goal, but a weird bounce and an awkward angle. John Gibson in net, by the way, for the Red Wings. I don't know, weird goal, but some of those weird tips, tough to stop. Tough for any goaltender to stop. So, Florida got the quick 1-0 lead, but I thought otherwise the Red Wings were probably the better team in that first period. They got a lot better scoring chances, got a lot more time in the Florida zone. And they looked really good in this one. But despite that, going into the second trailing 1-0, and then second period, this is when the Red Wings, they start to see the fruits of their labor. So Patrick Kane, able to get a nice score in front, nice little tip, right in the doorstep. Patrick Kane, his 10th goal of the season, he ties it at 1. And then later on in the second period, nasty backhander by your newest Detroit Red Wing, Justin Falk, getting his first goal in a Red Wings sweater. His 12th goal overall of the season. And that made it 2-1. So it's all right, Red Wings are rolling now. They played better based on the eye test in the first period, despite trailing. And now taking over here in the second. Red Wings are in a really good spot. Into the third period, 5 minutes in. Nico Mikkola, another tip. Another tip shot from the point. Tough for John Gibson to stop. Again, not really putting it on him there, but tough for those to stop. So just like that, bam, we're tied at 2. But then just 90 seconds later, Marco Kasper. Nice little breakaway. Able to score. Able to put the Red Wings on top 3-2. So it's all right, good spot for the Red Wings. They're back in front, back in the driver's seat. And then third period starts to wind down, and you know what happens in the last couple minutes. It's when teams start to pull their goaltender. So, Daniil Tarasov, backup goaltender for the Florida Panthers, he gets pulled. And Florida has 6 skaters, the 6-on-5. And the Red Wings just can't clear it. Can't get it out. And Florida, with Carter Verhaeghe getting the tying goal, 90 seconds left, so it's shoot. So at least clinch a point and try to get this thing done in overtime. But overtime was not to be had, as the Red Wings, 15 seconds left, trying to work up a shot, get kind of caught in kind of the corner, weird spot. And Florida in the middle of a change, getting guys quickly on skating, generated an odd man rush, and Carter Verhaeghe, another goal, strikes again. Again, 15 seconds left. And that's it. And that would have been a weird shot, too. Justin Falk in it, not a bad spot, but it kind of deflected weird off his skate, and it caused the puck to have a weird bounce. And able to get past John Gibson. But, man, just absolutely frustrating. The Red Wings were definitely the better team. I watched the entire game last night. They were the better team last night. They just could not close. Couldn't finish strong. And it's always frustrating when, you give up the goal, the other team pulls the goalie. So it's okay. They tie it. But, man, completely unacceptable in this one. 2 minutes left. You go from, winding time down. You're on your way to clinching 2 points, which you don't need me to remind you how important it is this late in the season that you got to get 2 points every chance you can get. 2 minutes. You go from 2 points to 0. Not even the, overtime. 0. Completely inexcusable loss for the Red Wings. I was sick to my stomach last night. I was so upset. Couldn't believe that they fumbled this one away. And this one's going to sting. This is going to be one of the worst losses of the season. And I really hope we don't look back on this as like one of those turning points for this team where that's, all right, it's done. It's when everything goes down the drain and we're just, season's over. Because we've had a couple of definitive moments like that in the last few years. Last year it was Columbus. Those back-to-back losses to the Blue Jackets, one of which being that Stadium Series game at the Ohio State football stadium. That was that kind of turning point for the Red Wings, their downward trend to finish the season. The year before that, remember, it was the Ottawa Senators, I believe. It was the Washington Capitals. The Capitals the season before that, and then the year before that was the Ottawa Senators. So this is now 3 seasons in a row that we've been dealing with this, where it's like losses late, consecutive losses to one specific team that you're also fighting for playoff positioning with. That ends up on the winning end of it against Detroit, and the Red Wings end up faltering out of the playoff picture. And that's what I'm saying. I'm really hoping this isn't the case here with this Florida team. But Florida, they have not been good this season, and specifically, they've been bad. They have been bad as of late, especially out of the Olympic break. It's literally just the Red Wings is the only team that they're having any success against. This Florida team. So they get back-to-back wins against the Detroit, 4-point swing right there. And meanwhile, for the Red Wings, guess what? Everyone else around the Red Wings won last night. That's fighting for positioning with them. Montreal, win. Boston Bruins, win. Columbus Blue Jackets, win. Ottawa Senators, win. Washington Capitals, win. Red Wings, 0 points. Fumbled away 0 point. They got 0 points yesterday. They fumbled it away. And just like that, the Red Wings are back into the wild card. They get leapfrogged by Montreal. By the way, if the Red Wings actually secured the 2 points last night, they could have been within 1 point of Tampa Bay with a matchup against Tampa Bay tomorrow. The Red Wings could have set themselves up with an opportunity to leapfrog the Lightning in the Atlantic Division. But nope, down to the wild card. And now with everybody else around them winning, they only have a 1-point lead over Boston for the second wild card spot, and they only now are 3 points into the playoffs. 3 points. That's it. I mentioned with everybody else in the picture, besides Detroit winning yesterday. And that's why I say you have to get 2 points every chance you get. 1 point at this point is unacceptable. Even if the Red Wings did not give up that last goal last night and they did go to overtime and end up losing, that would still have put a bad taste in my mouth. Because even hypothetically, 4 points into the playoffs, that's still too close for comfort. Might I add, the Red Wings have played one more game on the season than the Bruins and Blue Jackets, and 2 more games than the Senators. So it's like at this point, the Red Wings are almost behind a little bit because they're barely ahead of these teams, but with more games played. So, it is the month of March. And March has historically, in recent history for the Red Wings, been the House of Horrors month for the team. But, man, it's just so upsetting. They looked so good last night. I'm loving the addition of Justin Falk. I think he's really fitting in well with this team. Very small sample size, only 2 games with the Red Wings. But, man, it's just frustrating. You've got to finish it. You got to finish, or else you're going to miss the playoffs again. So Red Wings got to step it up. And this whole thing kind of started the last few games going into the Olympic break. And then coming out, still just, bleh. Not good. Not good enough, Red Wings. They got a matchup again tomorrow with the Tampa Bay Lightning, who have been trending down, but got to get that win, and then a tough one against a red-hot Dallas Stars team on the road on Saturday. Next week, you've got the Flames, Canadiens, and Bruins. Of course, with two of those three teams you were fighting with, positioning for. Big games. I mean, I didn't even want to say even selectively. Shoot, every game is a big game at this point. Red Wings have 17 games left, a lot of room for error in there. Especially when you have games like last night, when you completely fumble away 2 points to a division opponent, no less. So, frustrating one for the Red Wings.
If you missed today's installment of On the Docket, podcast it at fox1019.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to tune in live weekdays at noon on Jackson's Fox Sports 101.9 FM.